How do we hear? How do we see? What makes up the air we breathe? How does a plane fly over the sea? How do the planets float so weightlessly?
Let's go! Let's go!
It's technology.
Let's go! Let's go!
Science, you and me.
Let's go! Let's go!
We're learning every day.
Let's go! Let's go!
Engine leads the way.
Hello everyone, I'm Nana.
And I'm Gigi.
Welcome to Engine, the place where, come rain or shine, we can find out how the world works and what you can do to keep it and us safe and healthy.
Rain or shine?
Yeah, doesn't matter what the weather is, we'll be out there making the best of it. And today we are actually talking about the rainfall and the sunshine and why we need to know about them.
But why do we need to know this?
Well, farmers need to know when to plant and when to harvest, so they need to be able to predict the weather so we can have fresh fruit and vegetables to eat.
Okay, that's important because we need to eat to stay alive.
That's a big reason, yes. But there are so many other reasons. See if you can come up with some more. And while you think, let's find out what we're talking about when you talk about the weather.
Weather is the condition of the planet.
How hot is it? How cold is it? How you're feeling it?
Weather is a certain condition at a certain place and at a certain time. Like it's now cloudy at this place and at this time.
There are different types of storms, however. There are like tsunamis and also there are tornadoes.
I have no idea where weather comes from.
Weather comes from the sky.
I think weather comes like when the sun is facing a particular direction of the earth. Like if the sun is facing Nigeria, Nigeria will be under summer or harmattan.
I think weather comes from the sky and maybe some water bodies because it can't rain without any water.
I know that the rain can come from the water cycle.
Let's go! Let's go!
We're learning every day.
Okay, let's take it one step at a time. We know that the sun is at the center of all life on Earth, right?
Yes.
If it moves a teensy bit closer, we'd burn to death. If it moved a teeny tiny bit away, we would all freeze to death. And not just us, every single living thing would not survive.
So the sun is the boss of us all.
Yes, it is. And do you know who can tell us what we need to help us predict the weather?
I bet we have something like a weather expert.
Well, a weather expert is called a meteorologist.
A meteorologist. Does it have to do with the meteors that kill dinosaurs?
Well, not exactly, but sort of. Meteors come from very high up in the sky, in the atmosphere in fact. And meteorology means the study of things high up because weather is made in the atmosphere. So meteorologists study the atmosphere and then figure out or predict if there will be wind or sunshine or rain.
Wow. So do you know a meteorologist?
I thought you'd never ask.
You're most welcome to the Meteorological Station.
What exactly do you do?
We do weather observation, weather recording, and weather monitoring.
What are those things?
Those are instruments that are used in monitoring and observing weather. Look up at that instrument showing SN and EW. That is an instrument for wind direction. When I look up, what does it show? It is E.
E?
All that I will know, it is coming from the east.
So it's coming from here.
This one is called an evaporation pan.
How does it work?
As the heat energy hits the water evaporates. And that is what happens on the lakes, on the oceans. We measure the water vapor that is lost to the atmosphere from the Earth's ground.
What are these numbers over here?
Good. This is a scale that helps us to know how much water is being lost in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So it is 85.5.
I think I need to remind you about how water behaves quickly as it moves around the Earth. Think of it this way. It turns to steam when it's heated up. That's called evaporation. And it rises into the air or the atmosphere. The wind helps it to do that, and then it gathers in the clouds, which is what we call condensation. And then it rains or snows, which is precipitation. So all the water that went up comes down again and gathers on the Kilimanjaro as snow, or in rivers like the Nile or the Congo, or in our rainwater drum. And there you have the water cycle.
So what goes up must come down again.
Yes.
And this is called a Stevenson
Screen.
Yes, and it helps us to store delicate weather instruments. We have the thermometers. Do you know what the thermometers do?
Measure temperature.
Very good. This is our dry bulb. This maximum helps us to measure the highest temperature of the day. And this one helps us to know the lowest temperature of the day.
Why is it called a Stevenson screen?
Because of the person who invented it, and he was called Thomas Stevenson, more than 150 years ago.
What is that strange-looking circle thing?
Is what we call a radar. So it's kind of a dome inside. Radar is actually short form for radio transmission and ranging. So we need the radar to detect exactly what is happening in regard to weather. When you get inside that dome, there is a rotating sphere, which is an antenna as well. So the antenna keeps rotating. So while it's rotating, it sends out radio waves. So these radio waves go in form of pulses.
Okay.
So while they go out there, it's like it's spreading them around. If they find rain droplets or hail or any kind of precipitation, they're able to record that sound. And then they report back. The pulses come back, they are bounced back to the radar, to that antenna that is spinning.
It looks like you need a lot of tools to be able to work out what the weather will do.
Yes, and they are not complicated to use at all.
Can we use the tools?
Sure we can. In fact, I know girls who have their own meteorological station at school.
Welcome to our weather station.
So this is a new generation of weather stations, and for it to use sensors to measure weather elements.
It has 3 nodes. The ground node measures 3 things, 3 elements: the soil moisture, soil temperature, and rainfall. We have 2 wires that are connected to the soil. One is for moisture and one is for temperature. Then this one here is for rainfall.
So here is the 2-meter node. It is more like a Stevenson screen. Hygrometer is for humidity. A barometer is for atmospheric pressure. Then it has the sensors for temperature.
This is the anemometer. As you see it rotating, it's showing the speed of wind. This one here is the
manual rain gauge.
This is the funnel. Water passes through here and it collects here through this tube. When it's a lot of rainfall, it will also come here to this jug, because if it overflows, it comes here. Then it measures. We use a measuring cylinder to measure.
Hi, I'm Crispin. And I'm Crispinian. There's no better way to learn about the weather than to observe it and experience it firsthand. To find out how much rain falls where you live, you could make your own measuring device, a rain gauge. You will need an empty 2-liter plastic bottle, scissors, sticky tape, ruler, paper, pencil, water, stones, and a permanent marker. Carefully cut around the plastic bottle about 2/3 of the way up. Place a few stones or marbles into the bottom of your bottle. This will weigh down your gauge when it is outside and keep it stable. Turn to the top part of the bottle upside down and place it inside the bottom part. It will serve as a funnel, directing rainfall into your gauge. Fix it in place with tape. Pour a small amount of water into the bottle until it just covers the top of the stones to create a flat starting point for the measurement. Use a permanent marker to mark the starting point. Place some sticky tape along the length of the bottle, starting from the marker all the way up, and using a ruler and use a permanent marker to make a mark every ½ centimeter from zero, the top of the water, to the bottom of the funnel. You can draw a line at every full centimeter and a dot at every ½ centimeter. And there you have it, your very own rain gauge. Find a place outside, in the open, away from any trees. Put your gauge. Check your rain gauge every day to measure how much rain has been collected. Then empty the bottle. Refill it back to the zero mark. Write down the amount of rainfall in your weather journal. Can you see a pattern over time?
Science, you and me.
Moving your body in any shape and form is good for you. You don't need a gym or equipment. Just watch and follow me. Country Tanzania, we have a tribe called Makonde. They used to dance Ngokwa years back. They used to dance for calling rain during the dry season. Now we know we cannot control the weather, but we can still dance Ngokwa and have fun. Come up. Yes, try. Good. That's the movement number 1. The movement number 2, you go front and you tap back and you go back, you crab front. That's it. Now it's number 3. Number 3, you just go back, hop. Go back, hop. Go back, hop. Go back, hop. So now let's all dance together from the beginning to the end. That was Ngokwa from Tanzania. Wow, that was really good. Try to do that every day. Until next time we meet.
Imagine that, a rain dance. I'm liking it. Dancing usually makes me feel like I'm walking on sunshine. So this is new to me.
Dancing in the rain is an old thing. People all over the world used to do it because they believed that we had to dance and sing and chant to make it rain. In South Africa, there's a powerful queen called Mojaji, the rain queen.
What does she do? Can she make it rain?
Not in the way scientists can prove, because we know that the weather is caused by things that happen in the atmosphere. But her people love her and she's important to them because rain is important to them.
I know we don't control the weather, but can we stop dancing now, please? Because these raindrops, they just keep falling.
Okay. I never know which way the wind is blowing with you.
I'm sure there's a way to find out which way the wind is blowing.
Yes, there is. Would you like to know how to forecast the weather?
Does forecast mean to be able to tell what the weather is going to be?
Yes!
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
This is interior control tower. So this is where the weather magic happens. My job basically is to explain and understand what is really happening out there. But before I tell you, one thing you should know that weather, we do not control it. It controls us. What I do here, I monitor the weather. There are some satellites out there in space that capture the image over the entire world. You can see this is Africa. Yeah. These are oceans. So here I can see Kenya. I can see Tanzania. This satellite shows me where the rain is. So when you see the red and blue and yellow, there is heavy rainfall, like thunder and lightning. But this is not enough. What I do again, I look at this. Now this is also from the satellite.
Wow.
So
Wow, I expected a wow.
Yeah. This is representing wind. So this one that is coming from the Indian Ocean, for me to come up with a forecast for the day, I look at this. I can move up to Saturday and I see what Saturday is going to be like. Wow. So it is not going to be heavy rainfall. You know why?
Why?
You see, when you look at this wind, it is not coming direct towards our continent. There is something here. Are you seeing this?
Yeah.
So this is preventing the wind from coming towards us. So it is like a magnet. These are air traffic controllers.
This is the equipment we use called a radar, a weather radar. And if you can look at this purple area here, do you see up here? What does it say? It says TH 49, yes. So that means you have a thunderstorm, 49,000 feet. Thunderstorm means danger, lightning, hail. So if somebody is flying up there, then that means they would have to avoid this area and fly around.
What is this map?
These lines you see around here are what we call air routes. Pilots also, when they are flying, they follow designated routes in the air.
Well, why do you need to put those lines in the map?
It's a very good question. Maybe you should come here and control in future. Yes, why do we need these lines? Because they need to guide us. So since I'm an air traffic controller, I need to know that he is on the right road to where he's going.
So what exactly do you do?
My work here is to control aircrafts. Have you seen traffic officers on the road?
Yeah.
They control vehicles. So my work is to control the aircraft. However, before that aircraft went, I gave it information about the wind. This system gives me the direction of the wind because it is very important. The wind tells us which runway we are using. You see that long strip from there to there? That is a runway.
Why is it important to know where the wind is blowing from?
The aircraft is a machine, and the dynamics are it must fly into and land into wind. So the wind is coming in this side and the aircraft is going. So when this wind meets the aircraft, it helps lift it up. That is why the wind is very important. And before we depart any aircraft, we must give it the wind, or before we land it. Now you listen in to me. That is Emirates, is the one calling. Are you seeing that, Emirates?
Yeah.
Emirates 730 tower.
84-200.
So you mean the weather is very important for aviation?
We cannot do without weather. It's the most important thing in aviation. And almost 90% of all aircraft accidents in the air are because of weather.
Why we need to know how to forecast the weather? There'd be more accidents in the sky if we didn't. Let's think about other reasons why we need to know the weather in advance.
That won't be hard. And maybe people at home watching can think about it as well.
When a farmer is to plant his crops, he can't just start planting the crops maybe in dry season. He has to get to know the climate. I think it helps engineers to know the type of the material they are going to use, like in construction of roads. Maybe which materials that are strong in the rainy season, because sometimes if they don't get to know the weather, they are going to construct poor roads. Like you're going to class and you know that today is raining. You'll be able to carry the sweater or leave it.
Precipitation, it's not raining.
Yeah.
So it's 0.00 millimeters.
A few months ago, we predicted the weather. I told Daddy to plant groundnuts. After the planting, harvested March. And yeah, I brought some to school, served to my friends. After seeing that the harvest is March, you know, people of the village, they begin talking, maybe it was witchcraft or what. So they come, they ask, how do you make it? You have a lot of harvest. So that's how we end up telling them also.
It's favorable for the crops.
So I can now do the planting because there is progressive increase in the amount of rain that you're recording.
Yes.
When I got the information, it indeed showed me that the rain was going to start in the next 10 days. And I did the planting, and indeed the rain started. The maize is growing well.
Let's take a moment to slow down and focus. Taking some time to pause is good for us to help us stay calm. Let's listen to some different types of weather. Some weather is very noisy, like thunder, which makes big bangs in the sky, and wind, which howls. This might make you feel scared, though some people like the sound of storms. The rain can be noisy too. Sometimes the rain is very heavy. Some people are happy to hear the sound of rain, especially if their plants and crops need watering. And some weather is quiet, like when it is sunny and there is no wind. This might make you feel calm and peaceful. What is your favorite type of weather? Do you like the sound of thunder, wind, and rain? Or do you like the weather when it's quiet? Think about the sound of the weather that you enjoy. You can imagine these sounds when you want to take a few moments of rest.
My favorite weather is sunny. I mostly like swimming, so I like swimming when it's sunny. My favorite weather is the rain, because it can make our crops grow and you can have fun in the rain.
My favorite weather is rainy weather because it's like having a natural shower.
My favorite weather is snow because I have never touched snow before. You can make a snowman.
I like all weather because in rainy weather I can sleep, in sunny weather I can play football. In windy weather, it isn't that hot or that cold.
I don't have a favorite weather because I think they're all awesome.
Science, you and me.
I also like all kinds of weather because we need all kinds of weather to do all kinds of different things.
I don't like all kinds of weather. I don't like those heavy rains that we see that damage people's houses, or too hot weather that burns everything dry.
You are right, actually. And that is happening more often because the weather has been changing because the climate is changing. You know what the climate is, right?
Not really.
Okay, think of it this way. The weather is what you see when you look outside the window. Climate is how the weather behaves over a long period of time, like for years and not just a day or so. Scientists used to know what to look for to predict the weather quite accurately. But things are changing for different reasons, so they can't be so sure anymore. So now we have to study the weather much more carefully so that we can at least try to protect ourselves, our houses, and our gardens from unexpected floods and drought.
Guys, you're just going to see where the magic happens. Just walk here. Can you see that? Can you see that? Wow. Can you see that? Now you're able to see yourselves on the screen. So this is what happens when you're presenting weather. It's called a chroma key. The graphics are projected on the other side. So you see where you're pointing, actually, there is no map. But you appear in the screen as if you're seeing the map. So that is the cool part. So that's what happens with weather presenting. So point as if you're saying you're telling people there's going to be showers in Masaka.
Over here.
Kampala.
How do I know where I'm pointing?
Yeah, see, then you just have to get familiar with the graphics. When you stand there, now you're a real weather presenter.
Yes, a very real one. Hello guys, my name is Lorraine Alolia, and here we have Africa. This is all over my continent. Over here, we have a little bit of showers over here, and it's basically sunny. Well, in Kampala over here where I stay, it's rainy and sunny.
So here is Africa, where we have the wind which is moving, and here there is not much rainfall but a lot of sunlight. Now here on Dar es Salaam it's 30 degrees, and Dubai it's going to be totally sunny. That's 35 degrees, and New York is going to be cloudy and sunny.
Yes, very nice, very impressive. You did so well. Oh my God, you did so well. You see, you're now a meteorologist. A broadcast, yeah, it's easy. You see? That's so nice.
I feel like we've been on a trip around the sun.
In a way we have, because we went up into the atmosphere to observe the conditions that create wind and rain. Then we recorded the information when we observed. And what did we do after that?
We heard from a meteorologist how to read the information we recorded.
That's right.
And a meteorologist is a scientist who can be on TV to tell everybody what the weather is going to be.
Perfect.
That sounds like a weather forecast for today. Perfect for playing outside where we can do what we do best.
Yes, let's look, let's ask, let's love, and whatever the weather.
Don't forget to make it fun!